we would really benefit greatly from doing this, and it doesn't necessarily get adopted. Now that's a great opportunity for me to look back and say, all right, why was that?
What does a day in the life look like? As you mentioned, there's very few case studies of other universities that have similar roles. How are you building this out? What do you hope to achieve? What are some of the main kind of things that you're focusing on in that position?
It's been an interesting transition as I've kind of grown and seen what I can do personally, like what my value and my skills are. Initially, it was very much data collection, organizing data, and giving coaches some pretty like basic information that I thought would help them with decisions. And as I've grown in my role, I've noticed that I felt like I needed a like heavier science, stats, data science background, and actually made the decision to go back to school, like you mentioned. And so I'm getting a master's of data science here at UVA because I realized, I was able to kind of do a base level job at what I was doing. But if I wanted to improve myself and therefore improve our program, I felt like I needed to have kind of a heavier training in either stats or data science. And so as I've kind of grown, I've seen that I could, have a bigger impact if I had a more, I don't know if hard science is the right term, but kind of a more, hard science type background. Because to answer your kind of like day to day, I do a little of this and a little of that. Like I spend time with our offensive staff, watching film of our own team, of our opponents, working through self-scout reports and opponent prep, especially during the season. I spend a lot of time doing that throughout the week. And then, spend time getting other reports ready. We built like a website this year with me and a few of our student interns that I have. And so, kind of that day to day, just getting stuff ready for the coaches as they're, making those decisions. And then now that we're in the off season, I have more time to experiment, explore, build, kind of tinker with different models and different data that I'm working with, while also doing a little bit of time with the offensive staff as we look at our past season, getting them information about where we were successful, things that we can work on, spend a little bit of time in recruiting, both, actually talking to recruits, but then also working through different, recruiting models and things that I can get for our recruiting team to help them, make better decisions as well.
Awesome. Well, I what I think is really cool about your experience here is you're able to kind of grow with that role. Inevitably, organizations, when they're starting to build out their data analytics, data science capabilities, they have to walk before they can run. You have to organize the data. You have to have some infrastructure before you can really do anything advanced. And it almost always starts with descriptive statistics, dashboards, facilitating decision-making, not making any decisions, right? And it seems like that's kind of the stage you're at now, is where you're able to do those things very well, but you want to go back and learn and expand on some of your skills for, building models that might make a clear-cut recommendation rather than helping that decision-making. And it's really cool to me that you can learn those skills and grow in this role and build those capabilities at the same time. Because I think so many organizations do it the opposite, where they try to build some system that's far too advanced and they don't have any of the infrastructure set up and they fail pretty miserably. So I think that it's like a really good thing in this scenario that you can grow with this position. And as you learn more, that's a great story to tell to the organization, to the staff, because you're inevitably going to face some of the growing pains that the organization would face. And because you get to deal with them first, you'll be able to be better equipped to understand how the organization will deal with them.
Yeah. And I agree. I think that anybody that gets a job or is in a new role, they want to say, look at all of these awesome things that I can do. But like the number one thing is not the information that you necessarily present or models that you build, but the things that get adapted and become a part of teams, whether it's in the decision-making process or whatever. So at times, yeah, for me, it's frustrating of, hey, I have this information that I think would be super beneficial. We would really benefit greatly from doing this, and it doesn't necessarily get adopted. Now that's a great opportunity for me to look back and say, all right, why was that? You know, is it my skills of communication aren't great? Is it my, you know, actual skill? Is this actually not a good model? And someone from the outside can see that. Yeah, I think that, you know, building as you go is a really kind of interesting concept.